Patton Sports Videocast is brought to you by Snap Laces. Snap Laces' elite lacing system was designed for world-class athletes. They come in hundreds of color combinations so you can perform well and look great at the same time. Buy a set online today by clicking through the top image on mopattonsports.com. LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. Whether you are looking for seafood, vegetarian options, or delicious fresh prepared meats, Tzatziki's Mediterranean Cafe has menu items that are sure to satisfy. The recipes are all made fresh and inspired by Mediterranean cuisine. Tzatziki's is open for lunch and dinner and provides catering for events, both large and small. Order your favorite entree by using the To-Go Order app on your phone. Tzatziki's is more than a restaurant. It's a take on the idea that great food brings people together. Visit Tzatziki'sCafe.com for a listing of locations in the Nashville area. I want to thank everybody for joining us on Patton Sports Videocast. I'm Maurice Patton along with Kevin Smith. I'm going to take you through take you into week 2 of the state football playoffs. Week 12, week 13 of the season, I guess. We're over here at Ravenwood, as you can hear them. Something big must have happened back there in practice, but that's a game we're going to take a look at. They've got Overton coming in here in a rematch in the second round of the 6A playoffs. We're going to get to that one in a second. I want to remind everybody, please follow us on Facebook at Patton Sports, and also get involved in our Beat Mostradamus contest. Beat Mostradamus at mopattonsports.com. Send us your entries. If you do better than I do this week, we'll get you a gift card to Tzatziki's Cafe. There's 7 locations here in Nashville, and I'm sure one of them is close to you, so check that out. Kevin, I want to start with a rematch. A lot of them across the mid-state this week, but over in Murfreesboro, it's the Battle of the Borough Part 2 as Riverdale goes over to Oakland again.
I think it's a tough matchup for Riverdale in the sense of, Oakland's kind of on a mission right now, and they're playing really well offensively and defensively. Last week we saw them get the passing game going, which is a little bit of an added feature to film for coaches to stay up late at night to figure out how to stop Oakland. Already with a good and solid running game and players who can make plays in space. And then Oakland has a defense that is fast enough and is athletic enough to keep up with Riverdale's skill players. We're going to see a lot of really good players and star players Friday night in this matchup.
Riverdale 6-5 after their win in Chattanooga over Bradley Central last Thursday night, 38-34. Brandon B had a nice contest for him that night, scored 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 passing, including the eventual game winners. So obviously he's going to be a focal point for that Oakland defense that you're talking about. You mentioned the passing game for Oakland. Brendan Matthews, 9 of 11 for 275 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 of those to Jacoby Stevens, who is a Mr. Football semifinalist, LSU commitment. So like you said, star power all over the field. Riverdale snapped a 3-game losing streak with that win last week. They had lost in succession to Oakland, Smyrna, and Cookeville before then. So their reward is getting Oakland again.
Well, and I think Riverdale's going to have to do a good job of establishing a run game. A, to keep Oakland off the field offensively, and B, to kind of loosen up a little bit of the guys being able to just kind of man up on the outside and take away any passing game for Riverdale. So I'd like to see Riverdale be able to run the football and then be able to open up maybe their pass game. Talking about these two teams, Mo, if you're a high school football fan and you love college football, this is a game to go to because you're going to have, 5 to 10 players that are going to play on Saturday. So if you're really intrigued by recruiting and or watching kids before they make it to the next level, this is a game for you to go see. A lot of good players are going to be playing in this football game.
Absolutely. Dropping down to Class 5A, big game here in Williamson County. Hendersonville at 10-1 goes down to Independence, which is still undefeated, 11-0, number 1 ranked 5A team in the state. Hendersonville got past Shelbyville 43-20 last week. Big night from Brett Coker, the quarterback up there, who was 6 of 6 for 108 yards and a touchdown. And when Hendersonville can add the passing game into what they do on the ground, makes them a little bit more dangerous. I think Independence will be fully focused here, though, in light of last year when they lost at Hendersonville 49-20 in the opening round to end their season?
I think this is a sweet game for Independence in the sense of they're on a roll. They got a senior class, a lot of seniors who've won a lot of ball games and now have made history at Independence with the best start in school history. They've lost to Hendersonville the last 2 years in the playoffs. So this is a sweet, sweet game for them with an opportunity to say, we're on our march to the state championship game. We want to beat Hendersonville. We want to play Hendersonville. On the flip side, Hendersonville played great defense Friday night as well, limiting the other team to 105 yards in the first half, and they're going to need that kind of defensive performance to even hang in there with Independence. For me, Mo, Hendersonville is going to have to do a good job of controlling the clock and scoring touchdowns. They can't get down in the red zone and go turn the ball over on downs or kick field goals. They got to have touchdowns, and then they got to find a way to slow down Independence on offense.
You know, the thing is, though, for Independence, this could be a be careful what you wish for kind of thing, because Hendersonville didn't just luck up and get here. Their only loss was to a really good Hillsborough team. They've won 6 games since then, and they're on a little bit of a roll themselves. But we talked about the passing game for Hendersonville being kind of an added feature for them. Andrew Bunch ran for 3 touchdowns for Independence last week. So both these teams have kind of unveiled a little X factor here of late that, as you'd like to talk about, kind of give some extra film and something extra for defensive coordinators and defensive coaching staffs to take a look at.
Well, I like that both teams have been patient and both coaches have been able to find, if somebody brings a new wrinkle to the table, they're being patient and saying, well, we'll have a counter move for you as well. So if you want to try to stop Independence's pass game, they're willing to show you a nice run game. Same with Hendersonville. If you're going to load the box, try to take away their 3 really good backs, they are showing you that they have a passing game. And so, again, we go back to talking about which team can make the other team uncomfortable, take them out of their game plan, is the team that's going to be successful. And this side of the bracket, Mo, let me tell you something. We have a 11-0 versus 10-1 second-round ball game. You don't see that very often. Whoever comes out of this side of the bracket in 5A will be very battle-tested and ready to win a state championship in Cookeville because of the matchups that they're going to have to go through to get all the way there.
Absolutely. And talking about this side of the bracket, Brentwood and Centennial in another rematch from Region 7 5A. Brentwood went down to Memphis, picked up a huge victory, beat Memphis Central 52-7, and again, just further validation of what we knew Ron Crawford was going to do when he came back up here from Cleveland.
If you like defense, this is a game to go to. This is going to be a very low-scoring ball game. Both teams are going to struggle to score and put the ball in the end zone. Again, another game. Who can establish a running game and timely passes? Both teams have struggled a little bit in the pass game. Both teams are good offensively. And who can score in the red zone? Touchdowns, not field goals. We need touchdowns in this game. Their points are going to be at a premium, and you need to get them. And we go back to, this game was a really close game in the regular season. Centennial made a special teams play. So you always talk about special teams, but it's really important in a game that's going to be points at a premium where both teams are going to struggle to score. Special teams is where you can steal some points, and whoever wins that special teams battle could have a victory Friday night.
Carson Croy, big night last week in Memphis, 15 of 17 for 174 yards, 3 touchdowns. You mentioned Centennial winning that one 24-10 back in week 8. They picked up a 20-14 win against Southwind last week. Really hard-fought victory for them. Tyrell Dodson, 3 touchdowns, 77 rushing yards. Mondu Sawyers with another 50 yards on 17 carries. So they're going to be run-oriented, but they showed me against Henry County a couple of weeks ago that Tristan Piscani and the passing game can put some things together. So it'll be interesting to see how well if Brentwood is able to make them one-dimensional, and then what happens if they are able to do so.
And I'm interested to see Brentwood's or Centennial, what's their game plan going to be after Brentwood kind of exposed them a little bit in man coverage, where a couple of receivers had some big nights that Friday night. Yeah. So I'm interested to see if Centennial's got something that they're going to bring to the table, and can Brentwood counter that? Or can Brentwood continue to take advantage of that man coverage and hit some long pass plays, and instead of field goals, turn those into touchdowns? That's going to be an interesting kind of chess match between 2 guys that we've already stated, 2 of the Williamson County's better coaches, veteran coaches that have been around a long time and have won a lot of football games. I look forward to seeing which team can execute their game plan.
Right. When we come back, we're going to hit another 5A game and get a little deeper into the second round of the playoffs. We'll be right back. John Mayer Builders proudly sponsors Mo Patton Sports Videocast. With over 1,500 homes built in Middle Tennessee, John Mayer Builders knows the importance of families and communities. They have numerous business awards to their credit, proving that John Mayer Builders is built to win. Like them on Facebook. John Mayer Builders, our reputation is building.
Southern Athletic Fields originated in 1996 when Bill Marbett formed a company specializing in baseball and softball field materials. SAF has since grown and now has sales reps to cover over 12 states with products servicing many outdoor sports. Southern Athletic Fields takes great pride in working with our customers to achieve the best athletic field possible. Visit our website at www.southern-athleticfields.com or like them on Facebook. Dirt, you gotta love it.
Great teams have talent. They also have the necessary tools for success. BSN Sports delivers these tools whether your team needs uniforms, apparel, or athletic equipment to achieve greatness. Just like a winning teammate, BSN Sports is there for you. Their unmatched service ensures that you have best-in-class equipment for championship-level performance, plus uniforms and athletic apparel from the best brands in the industry to look your best when hoisting your trophy. As an All-State agent in Murfreesboro, James Knight knows many local families. His knowledge and understanding of the people in this community helps him provide customers with an outstanding level of service. He helps families like yours protect the things that are important: your family, home, car, boat, and more. He's proud to work with a company like Allstate. As a small business owner, he understands the importance of building a solid foundation for the future and developing long-lasting customer relationships. When you leave his office, I hope you'll feel confident, informed, assured, and satisfied in your choices, the way you should feel. Kevin, in a rematch of a game we saw, 2 weeks ago, I guess, they flip-flop sites this time. Beach goes to Hillsboro. Hillsboro clinched the Region 6-5A championship with a 21-17 win up at Beach in the regular season finale for both those teams. Beach turns around and wins 20-7 down at Lincoln County behind a young running back, Alex Van Zant. We've talked about Austin Van Zant. This is his younger brother. We've talked about Roderick Napper, but Alex Van Zant, 20 carries, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, and kind of boosted Beach to that win down there.
And I think the reason that is because there's some injury factors going on at Beach right now, and I pray and hope that both Mr. Napper and the older Van Zant will be back for this football game, because that will be very hard. It's already hard enough to win on the road at Hillsboro against a really, really good defense, but then not having your full complement of players will even be even tougher. So let's hope they're back and ready to go. This is always tough, Mo, in the sense that not only was it 2 weeks ago, so they kind of very familiar with each other, but two, it's hard to beat a team twice in 1 year. So for Hillsboro, this is very difficult, and for Beach, they got nothing to lose. So this is one of those games they can come in, lose, feel free, and get after it. I'm anxious to see Hillsboro's defensive front seven, and a young man last week against Laverne who absolutely dominated was nose guard Malcolm Swan. Man, this guy was absolutely all over the field, a guy that we don't really talk about with all the other star power players there at Hillsboro. Can Hillsboro's front be disciplined, keep their eyes out of the backfield, and play a wing T offense and slow down Beach?
You know, and like you said, Hillsboro gets a big win last week. They win 26-7 over Laverne. They break it open in the fourth quarter, scored 3 times. Their running backs, Jeremy Hill and DeAndre Alexander, combined for 242 rushing yards and all 4 of their touchdowns. So if Hillsboro can continue to be balanced like that, run the ball, throw it with Dalen Murphy and those receivers that they've got, they can really create some problems for Beach.
Yeah, and I've been very impressed with Hillsboro in the sense of 2 weeks ago they go on a 98-yard drive to win a game in a region championship. The next week they're in a dogfight, tie ball game going in the fourth quarter. Stay patient. They don't panic, and they score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win the game. So I've been very impressed with how they've just been able to handle adversity and find a way to win in advance.
You know, this is two programs that both know how to win. I mean, again, Hillsboro was in the 5A state finals last year before they lost to Knoxville West. Beach won the state championship the year before that. 2 years before that. So, you know, both these teams are tested program-wise. They've had a lot of success, so this should be a good ball game.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Again, it's at Hillsboro. Let's hope Beach is healthy. And then, you know, again, whoever wins this game is going to take on the winner of Hendersonville Independence. Again, what another great matchup that will be. And again, this is a tough road. You're going to need a little bit of luck, and you got to stay injury-free. And we're sitting here talking a little bit right now about Beach possibly having some injuries. And that's just kind of playoff football. So another great game Friday night if you want to go see some guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays.
In Division 2A, big game down there is University School of Jackson, 8-3 after knocking out defending state champion Knoxville Webb 7-6. Comes to Franklin Road Academy. Frog comes into this one undefeated at 11-0, and they've just been on the roll all year.
I think you always got to give a team respect that's knocked out the four-time defending state champions. So congratulations, USJ, giving now the Division Single A, or Division II Single A, a new champion. We know that for sure. Tough game for both teams. One, FRA has struggled just a little bit against some good passing teams and athletic quarterbacks. USJ is going to feature an athletic quarterback who can move around and can throw the football around, and a team that's been in a state championship over the last couple of years. They know how to win and get there. And they got a big-time offensive tackle, Trey Smith, 2017 recruit at USJ, been offered by everybody in the country, will cause problems for FRA's front. But then USJ's had trouble stopping the run, which is what FRA does really well. So interested to see how Sam Harvin and Larry Wilhoit and some of those backs can get going against USJ, and can USJ slow them down.
And another kid for FRA that we've not talked a whole lot about this year, because we have talked about Sam Harvin, we have talked about Larry Wilhoit and some of those other guys. Woody Weicker got off last week, 13 carries, 128 yards, 4 touchdowns in their 42-20 win over Kings Academy. So again, another team adding another little wrinkle, somebody else that you got to concern yourself with as they go down the playoff trail.
Yeah, and Spence Jones is going to have to play well. We've touched on him a little bit at quarterback. Congratulations to him. Just picked up an offer from Liberty, a nice, fine school. And I'm really anxious to see how he manages this football game, because is USJ going to be able to take away the run? Are they going to be able to take away the pass? Spence has done a good job watching him play this year of, even when the pass play breaks down, he understands tuck it and run, and he's athletic enough to get you 14, 15 yards. Or if you leave a guy wide open, he's going to hit him for a touchdown. So really anxious to see Spence Jones playing this game as well.
They have been so good on the perimeter this year that it'll be interesting to see what Mickey Marley dials up to try to defend them on the outside this time around. In Division 2 AA, defending state champion Montgomery Bell Academy was got a chance to sit out last week with a first round bye. They catch McCallie coming in at 6-5 after a 54-21 win over JP2 last week. And a guy that coming into the year I thought was really going to be one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in the state, Javon Craig, has kind of been bumped out by junior Robert Riddle down at McCallie, who has really come on for him, got a gun. They are more pass oriented with him back there. Craig is playing some wide out, playing some safety, and is still probably going to be a big time recruit when all is said and done. But they've kind of reconfigured themselves offensively as the season has gone.
Very, very dangerous game for an NBA team because of the ability to pass and the athletic playmakers that McCallie has. NBA has struggled with that in the past and a little bit this year. NBA is going to have to control the ball on offense, feed Mr. Ty Chandler about 35 to 40 times, let him control the clock and score touchdowns. This is a game that was very close in the regular season and a tough matchup. McCallie can beat anybody. It's just kind of like some of these other teams we're talking about, but can they play enough defense to actually win the game? They got enough offensive firepower, so this could be this could be a back and forth, high scoring ball game Friday night, because I think Ty Chandler is going to run all over them, and I can see McCallie scoring a lot of points too. And it could come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah, I could see that. NBA beats McCallie 33-27 in overtime back in week 5. Obviously, their only loss was the 48-14 loss over at Brentwood Academy a few weeks ago. They've won back-to-back games since then. You mentioned Ty Chandler, 1,761 yards, 20 touchdowns. So obviously, he's going to get his touches, and he's gotten a high number of carries here over the last few weeks, 38, 39, 33, that kind of thing. So they're not afraid to feed it to him, and he doesn't mind carrying it.
I'll be honest, if I was his head coach like Coach Uverard, I'd be handing it to him that many times too. He's that special. He's a great player. He's one of the best backs in the country. And you got to turn around and give your best players the ball. So we've touched on some coaches that we've really enjoyed watching them put their players in position to make plays on both sides of the ball. Well, let's give NBA's coaching staff credit. They know what kind of workhorse they have in the backfield, and they're turning around and handing it to him. And an offensive line who is playing well. Let's give the offensive line credit. They're opening up holes. They're pushing defensive lines around, and they're going to have to do that Friday night against McCallie to give Ty Chandler some open lanes.
And as Coach Uverard's college coach, Boots Donnelly, would say, the ball is not heavy. So, you know, it shouldn't be a problem for him. Those are our 6 key games. We're going to come back and take our shots at picking some of those here in a second. I want to remind you again, you can pick some games too and get involved in our Beat Mostradamus contest. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But in Class 4A, Lipscomb goes over to Pearl Cone. Lipscomb opened with a 14-7 win over Maplewood. That obviously was a close when Maplewood comes in 3-7 and push Lipscomb to the brink. Pearl Cone wins 40-0 against Montgomery Central though.
Tough matchup again for Lipscomb. We touched on it last week with athleticism that they got to tackle in the open field, and now really a better defensive team. Pearl Cone gets a lot of accolades with Jimmy Farrell and Rotavius Groves and Mr. Vaughn back there at running back and their offense, but their defense has been playing lights out. They've played an unbelievably tough schedule. Their record's deceiving. If Pearl Cone can, we've touched on this before, if they can kind of limit their silly penalties and turnovers, this is going to be a really, really tough game for Lipscomb to win Friday night.
Stratford goes to CPA. Stratford coming off a 39-0 win out at Fairview. CPA opened with a 41-0 win over Cheatham County.
Yeah, I like both teams here. Obviously, CPA's the defending 3A state champions, and they've got a program that just knows how to win. They're kind of just churning out wins left and right. They just play the right way, well coached. Stratford's this up-and-coming team who has developed confidence each and every week, and really shocking just how dominant they were last week. We knew they were good, but we didn't know they were that good. And for me, Mo, this may be the last team before the state championship round that has an opportunity to beat a CPA. And this is a dangerous ball game in the sense that Stratford also got some confidence against CPA earlier in the year by playing them very tough.
Right. Over here at Ravenwood, they get Overton for a second time. Their Region 3-6A rival there. Ravenwood won that game 38-7 earlier in the year. They beat Bartlett 55-7 last week. Overton went on the road and beat Germantown 20-17 on the last second field goal.
I really like this Ravenwood team. I think they've got a lot of pieces. They're good in the special teams, got a great kicker who can change the field position and also kick field goals for them and get them extra points. I like their defense. I like their offense and some of the pieces they have to make big plays, and especially Chris Rowland. Most of the time, he's going to be the best player on the field. And when you have the best player on the field, I like you in that sense as a winner. Overton has some pieces that are scary and played this Ravenwood team to a really close first half, and then the wheels kind of fell off. To me, again, if Ravenwood doesn't beat themselves and turn the ball over, this is going to be a tough game for Overton to win.
Another Region 3-6A rematch. Wilson Central went west as well, picked up a 28-9 win down at Cordova. They come back and play Franklin, which defeated Houston 30-8. Franklin won that game 35-3 earlier in the year.
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of having everybody make the playoffs, whether you're 0-10 or 10-0. It does kind of show that certain times of certain seasons that you play in a region that is so good that you could be a 3-7 team and go on the road and win. So congratulations to Wilson Central showing that the Middle Tennessee area this year in 6A is very good. 12 out of the 16 teams playing Friday night in 6A are from the Middle Tennessee area. So congratulations to Wilson Central. And if again, it's the playoffs. Survive and advance. They're playing a Franklin team that they can beat, because you can beat anybody and you have a chance. So we'll have to see what happens Friday night, but I really like Franklin.
I tell you, Franklin's dealing with a couple of injuries. They lost Lanham Craddock a few weeks ago to a knee injury. Kyle Evans, the quarterback, is a little banged up. And Wilson Central had some injuries in that Franklin game that they've got those guys back. So this could be, you could see a team that went into the playoffs 4-6 that may be taking another step this week. So Franklin's got to be careful with this matchup this week. When we come back, we're going to go over our picks from last week. We're going to make some picks for this week. We'll be right back. Whether you are looking for seafood, vegetarian options, or delicious fresh prepared meats, Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe has menu items that are sure to satisfy. The recipes are all made fresh and inspired by Mediterranean cuisine. Taziki's is open for lunch and dinner and provides catering for events, both large and small. Order your favorite entree by using the To-Go Order app on your phone. Tzatziki's is more than a restaurant. It's a take on the idea that great food brings people together. Visit TzatzikisCafe.com for a listing of locations in the Nashville area. At National Playmakers Academy, developing NPA athletes comes in threes. NPA develops its student athletes' academic, social, and football-specific skills. Next, NPA develops them for better exposure today, recruitment tomorrow, and college education through scholarships for the rest of their lives. We are proud of the outstanding athletes we have developed. We are more proud of the college graduates we have prepared. Work with National Playmakers Academy for developing gifted athletes into productive citizens. I2, Integrity Insurance. I2 Agency was started with one primary focus in mind, helping people. As a multi-line insurance agency, we do that in a variety of ways with a full portfolio of products. Whether it's life, health, dental, Medicare, annuities, or home and auto insurance, we design solutions that will meet your individual needs. Logo My Logo continually beats the competition by 3 points. Service, expertise, selection. Beyond promotional products, Logo My Logo delivers incredible service to its clients. Their service is only matched by their marketing expertise in presenting their clients in the most professional light. Logo My Logo's broad selection means that their clients have multiple options to communicate their brand strongly. Premier marketing solutions require service, expertise, and selection, and Logo My Logo keeps finding a way to win by those 3 points. Kevin, last week the 6 games we took a look at, Hillsborough beat Laverne 26-7. I think we both had the Burros in that.
Very impressive win. Again, they stayed patient. Both backs got off late and carried them to victory.
Independence 49, Cane Ridge 7. Not a huge shock other than maybe the margin.
Yeah, and kudos to, again, Independence's coaching staff for finding something different when Cane Ridge tried to take away their passing game and Andrew Bunch running for 3 touchdowns.
Hendersonville 43, Shelbyville 20.
Not necessarily shocked, but a little bit of the margin. Didn't think Hendersonville's defense could play as well as they did against an explosive Shelbyville offense. Great job of Hendersonville's defense.
We both had the Commandos in that one. Lipscomb 14, Maplewood 7. I went out on the limb and took the Panthers. I thought their athleticism would cause Lipscomb some problems and managed to keep the game close but couldn't pull off the W.
Did the same thing, took Maplewood, thought it would be too big of a matchup for Lipscomb, but congratulations to Lipscomb, even with turnovers, found a way to win in advance.
Stratford 39, Fairview nothing. I took the Yellow Jackets in that one and I fell hard.
Yeah, I took Stratford. Thought it would be a closer ball game, obviously, but congratulations to Stratford. They are gaining confidence each and every week. Watch out for them as they have some pieces in place to challenge some teams moving forward in the playoffs.
Nashville Christian puts up a big number, 64-8 over Clarksville Academy. We both had the Eagles.
Averaged almost 20 yards per play on offense. That is a crazy number. They're ultra talented, and they're continuing their march towards getting out of the semifinals after being there for the last 3 years.
Again, want to remind you, beat Mostradamus at mopattonsports.com. Don't even know the name of my own website. Beat Mostradamus at mopattonsports.com. Send us your entries. We're picking all the games just like I do. If you come up with a better record on Saturday morning than I do, we'll throw you in a drawing for a gift card from Tzatziki's Cafe. So we're going to go through the top games on the schedule. I'm going to pick them all. You're going to pick them all, and we'll see who comes out on top. Kevin, Riverdale, Oakland. Who do you like?
Love Oakland. Like how they played defense on the defensive side of the ball. They've added a passing game with some really good running backs and an offense, again, that is hard to prepare for. Really like Oakland.
I liked Oakland all year. I like them in this one, looking for their 11th straight win, and they've just been impressive all year. Hendersonville at Independence.
A game that's a little weird for me to pick in the sense that, Hendersonville's beat them the last 2 years, and Independence has been talented in those 2 years just as much as they are this year. But I think Independence is on a mission. They have a senior class who's won a lot of ball games. They are rewriting the record books there at Independence. I think they're ready for this game and wanted this game. And I think Coach Blade has been patient enough with his coaching staff to take what the defense gives them, and a defense at Independence that is playing lights out. So I like Independence.
I think Independence is really playing with an edge right now, and that edge combined with that talent, I think gets them this W here this week. I like the Eagles here. Brentwood at Centennial.
Like Centennial, their defense, again, another one that's been lights out all year. if they can find a way to pass it just a little bit and continue to find some points on special teams, they're going to win this football game. But it's going to be a really close, low-scoring affair.
You know, sometimes you just run into a team that's got a great player, and I think Centennial is in that situation with a Tyrell Dodson, who is just willing his team to win and showing his greatness, not just in his individual play, but in the way he gets his team, raises their play another level. I like the Cougars in this one. Beach at Hillsboro.
Yeah, I hope Beach, we touched on it earlier, gets some of their injured players back. I think Hillsboro's going to win this game anyways with a great defensive front seven that they can put pressure on your run game and a good secondary that can take away your pass game. And then enough on offense. If Jay King's not back to give them the explosive passing game, they've got two really good running backs they can turn around and hand the ball off to.
And look for Malik Fleming on offense as well. He lines up at tight end, really versatile kid. It's Mercer commitment as a safety, but they get a lot of mileage out of him on the offensive side of the ball as well. I just think Hillsboro's got too many pieces. I like the Burros in this one. University School of Jackson comes up to FRA. Who you like?
I like FRA because we've always touched on this. If you can play defense and you have a good running game, you can win on any field, in any weather, any week. And I like FRA's running game versus USJ. I think USJ will have to be turnover free to have a chance in this game, but I like FRA's running game to propel them to victory.
I like the Panthers in this one. I like the way they've played here over the season. And again, I just think their perimeter game may be a little bit much for USJ to match up with. McCallie in the rematch up at NBA.
A tough matchup for NBA because McCallie is all over the place. If they played any defense, I might pick McCallie, but as a former defense coordinator, to me, you got to have defense to win championships. I don't think they have enough. I'm going to go with NBA and Ty Chandler, who to me is going to be the best player on the field, and an offensive line that's been pushing people around.
NBA's got Ty Chandler, McCallie doesn't, and I think that's probably going to be the difference in this one. I like the Big Red. Mo Patton Sports Videocast is brought to you by Snap Laces. Snap Laces' elite lacing system was designed for world-class athletes. They come in hundreds of color combinations so you can perform well and look great at the same time. Buy a set online today by clicking through the top image on mopattonsports.com. LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. John Mayer Builders proudly sponsors Mo Patton Sports Videocast. With over 1,500 homes built in Middle Tennessee, John Mayer Builders knows the importance of families and communities. They have numerous business awards to their credit, proving that John Mayer Builders is built to win. Like them on Facebook. John Mayer Builders, our reputation is building. A few other games we want to pick real quick, a couple in particular. Again, Overton comes over here to Stratford Friday night. Who you like there?
Like Ravenwood, they got all three phases of the game with kicking, defense, offense. Like their draw, I could see Ravenwood moving here back towards a state championship game. This is a tough matchup for Overton. If Ravenwood can hold on to the ball and not turn it over, Ravenwood wins this ball game.
I like Ravenwood in this one as well. Again, they won this matchup 38-7 back during the regular season. I'm not sure how Overton closes that gap. It'll be interesting to see. And
one thing for sure, Mo, don't kick to Chris Rowland is one way you can maybe close the gap. That's about the only way.
But you know, I don't know if people remember the old Fram oil filter commercials. You can pay me now, you can pay me later. I mean, they didn't kick to him until the second half, and all he did was bust one as soon as they did. So
exactly right.
You make that one slip up. I don't know. Can you go a whole game without kicking it to him?
It's very difficult, but yeah, like you said, I mean, they ran right into halftime, right off a Chris Rowland return down to almost the 1 yard line. So if they can, they better. I would make somebody else beat me, not name Chris Rowland.
Stratford goes to CPA, the defending 3A state champ. Who do you like?
My friends over at CPA probably won't be very happy with me, but I just think this is the year of the Spartans, and I think they have enough and they've got some confidence. They can't win with 18 penalties like they had last week, but if they clean up those penalties, to me this is the last team that can take down the Giants of CPA I say Giants, Lions, but they're the Giants of 3A right now, before the state championship game. I like Stratford to pull the upset of the year and take down the Lions at CPA.
You know, I like your thinking. I don't like your pick. It's tough to pick against CPA this early. I think they've just become a program under Ingle Martin that just knows how to win ball games, and I think until they prove me wrong, I got to go with the Lions here. But it wouldn't surprise me if you wind up being right, and it certainly wouldn't be the first time. So that's going to do it. You got a couple of bonus picks out of us this week, but again, beat Mostradamus at mopattonsports.com. Let's see what you got. I'm Maurice Patton for Kevin Smith. That's who he is. We'll see you at the ball game.